the gentle heart. How is it to be treated gently with tender love and care? However, when you're in a relationship with a person, let's take friendship, and a person asks you to be honest, you have to find a gentler way of handling it. Because a person might say they can handle it, but you just never know how they're receiving it. You might know by the facial expression. You might know it by the body language. You might know it by the retaliating words that might feel justified or justifiable after hearing what you've said or what it is that you've expressed. It's most important that we remember it's almost as though when you first start a relationship, you begin with friendship. You have different conversations. You spend a certain amount of time together, and then you give the person space. While you're getting to know a person, it is really important that you don't jump into the relationship, because then things tend to get complicated. By getting to know them as a friend, you're now investing time to hear them out and them hear you out. Actions are played out. You get to see the person's character. When you jump first into intimacy, it complicates things and it confuses the heart because you really don't know the person as well. Now, all of us have been in different situations where we feel as though you might have felt pressured or you might have jumped into things too fast. It's almost like you didn't really hear the banker speaking of all the different options that you had available to you, and you jumped into getting that checking account or savings account. Then so much money is being taken out monthly, and you're wondering why, and you're wondering how. How could they do this? They can do it because you did not look at the fine print, and you did not take your time in making the decision. A lot of us do that every day. We don't take the time to make the decision. We don't stop, we don't look, and we don't listen. When this happens, a lot of different unjustifiable things happen. So, how is it that we are going to begin our new year? The new year is approaching quickly. Let us begin by even writing down the things that we might not have done so great this year. And going into the new year, we might want to write a new list on what it is that we really want to accomplish. Starting with the things that need priority, down to the things that are not as important. But if we are looking at ourselves as individuals, we have to first begin with ourselves, loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves. Even with our mistakes and shortcomings, we do need to be appreciated. Now, as we're taking this walk, we're moving along and we're trying to take charge in a brand new year. We have to first look at what it is that our strong points are, because our strengths can actually help us in a lot of different other areas that we might need it. Your weaknesses, can you make those into strengths? Depending on where you're sitting, depending on how it is that you're looking at it. Seeing it as a healthy experience, I decided that I was going to spend more time and invest in myself by exercising more. Now, a lot of people say you don't need it, but who are they to say what your needs are? People might just be saying that to make you feel good, give you a compliment, and that's all well and good. But when it comes time for you to look in that mirror, are you happy with what it is that you're seeing? Because if it is not a good thing when you're looking in that mirror, if you are not happy, it's time to really take it down a notch and figure it out. Take that necessary time, maybe take a day off to just basically make it a mini me day, a mini you day, okay? Yeah, I said that I was going to really look at how it is that I was expressing myself. I was trying to explain something to someone, and it seems as though they were getting the message all wrong. I knew I needed to separate because I know that I need the me time. If I'm not investing in myself and I don't have the me time, I cannot invest in another person. I realize that more so now than ever. I am my priority, just as you are your priority. And as life goes along, we must remember to take the necessary steps. Sure, you're going to make some mistakes along the way, but those mistakes are beauty. You know why? They're beautiful mistakes because while you're making them, you're learning just by observing and seeing it for what it was worth. It was a mistake. Now we might really consider moving along and putting that best foot forward. It is a beautiful thing when you can look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I love you. Looking at yourself. Some people cannot look at themselves. They're embarrassed by different things that they don't like about themselves. Do not be embarrassed. See it and say, okay, this might be something that I don't particularly care for. I'm going to work at the goal of making it an improved situation for myself. Now, a lot of people go ahead and they invest in surgery. Whatever it is that you're choosing to do that's right for you, because no one can judge what's right for you but you and God. I personally have enjoyed my journey at the gym. I personally have enjoyed even some of my appointments that I've had to take in regards to, my most recent physicals and such. Now, they did tell me that I weighed a little more than I thought I weighed. And at first I was really annoyed, I'm going to be honest with you, because I'd never weighed that much before. But at the same time, I need to be more cautious in what it is that I'm choosing to eat and drink. I drink a lot of water, but sometimes I will cheat and I'll have juice or, not juice, but like a lemonade or something. Recently, I tried a ginger ale, the little small cans, and it was so strong that I said I would not do that again. Because I know that if it's uncomfortably strong for me, then my body must definitely be feeling it. And I don't want to put my body through that type of torture, It's important that you are making the decisions that work best for you, starting with that heart. If you feel as though you're in the company of someone who is making you uncomfortable, and you have to separate, you can do it gently. Recently I had that experience, and it was uncomfortable because I don't want to leave a person worse off than how I met them. I don't want to hurt another person's feelings. So sometimes you really have to figure out how that's going to look, and sometimes there's no easy way to break a person's heart, and I was working towards a friendship with the person, but at the same time, some of the things that they would say and do were not agreeable to me. So I knew that that was something that I needed to remove myself from. If you invest in another person, and that investment that you're making with that person is working against you, then you have to separate yourself. Perhaps you can just give them motivational literature. Perhaps you can, you just need to remove yourself as gently as possible, because you have to invest in yourself. That's the nicest way I can put it. In order for you to be the you that you need to be. And sometimes people look at things and they say, There's so many angry black women in this world, or what have you. Every woman has their own journey. And sometimes women, just as men, have to make certain decisions. And while making these decisions, they have to find the best way possible, or the best way suitable for themselves. Sometimes you have to be selfish. So the easiest way is to be gentle, because you don't want to hurt another person, and you don't want you to be hurt as well, you know? But it starts with you. Taking that alone time allows you to reflect on the things that are happening that you don't agree with. Reflect on what's best for you, and reflect on all the things that are going on that are affecting your life. We all have our own homework to do. And when you participate in a relationship, no one's going to agree with everything that you say or do. And there's always going to be certain conflict. You have to choose what's best for you, because you are the official person who is responsible for you. So, learning to love yourself and making sure that you're gentle, with yourself, that is where it starts. It can move further on when you're looking at who you're allowing to be in your presence. And I'm sure that other people can do the same. But take yourself more seriously by making sure that you're making the right choices that best suit you. Because after all, you are the lovely person that you get to spend time with unconditionally, okay? So, let's look at ourselves with love. Let's look at ourselves and know that this is a new year we're going into, and we can officially begin to appreciate the journey and be thankful for each part of that journey. Thank you for joining us here